Audio quality on the other video was horrible. Check this out real quick for the intro. Alright, I'm driving on this jacked up highway. Caltrans needs to get to some serious work quick on this stretch of the highway. So that brought me to another thought. So what I was saying is, before COVID, in my neighborhood on Highway 5, the stretch of the neighborhood, the stretch of Highway 5 in my neighborhood, in my city actually, the highway was riddled with potholes. And this was when I really started to do a lot of ticket requests, fix-it requests to Caltrans. And every time I'd submit a ticket, I'd say on average, within 2 weeks, potholes will be filled. And I couldn't tell whether it was my tickets that were bringing those potholes to their attention, or whether it was something that was already on their radar and they came around to it, and coincidentally it was about 2 weeks after I submitted the incidents that they were resolved. But nonetheless, I kept doing them because potholes were getting filled. And then one time, I remember a pretty bad pothole had occurred, and I didn't want to submit a ticket for that because I wanted to see how long it would take before this thing gets filled. And I waited a good month, and it was still not filled. Now, this is a bad pothole. It's not something small. It's not something cars go over and they don't even notice anything different from it. It was a bad pothole. Like, I remember going over it cleanly one time, and I got so frustrated. I'm thinking my shocks are shot now. You know, who's going to fix this? Who's going to pay for this? You know, if I have to do a repair on my car, who's going to pay for this? It was bad. I mean, it was bad. And so I was like, I'm not going to do the ticket. I'm going to wait to see if this is going to get fixed by itself, or if it is my tickets that's been fixing the other potholes, I'm going to wait and see if somebody else is going to submit a ticket, or when someone else is going to submit a ticket. I waited near 2 months. It almost took 2 months before I finally got fed up with the situation. And this is, again, before COVID, so I'm driving back and forth to work every day. And unfortunately, this pothole was one that I've hit 2 or 3 times because it was close to a lane that I was merging over to because of an exit coming up. So I finally got fed up with it, and I submitted a ticket. And again, within 2 weeks, this thing was filled. I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe this. Am I the only one in my city that's submitting tickets for this stretch of the highway? Because it sure feels like it now. And I've come to the conclusion that people like me, we are in the 1 percentile of people who submit these tickets. I don't think there's too many of us doing it, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience. And so my question to you guys is, why? I can say why I didn't submit tickets before. I never knew anything about that. Nothing had occurred or crossed my mind or whatever to submit a ticket for something. You have to, something has to present itself to you as a problem before you can fix it, right? So I get that. And then when it's a recurring problem, the same problem, then it becomes an annoyance more than an inconvenience, and it's time for something to be done about it. And so then you try to figure things out and get it done. And so that's that's the point that I got to, right? But everyone else, I'm sure there's a persistent inconvenience whether it's a road issue, whether it's a neighborhood issue, whether something's got to be happening. But most of us, the overwhelming majority of us, are not doing anything about it. Submitting ticket requests, Caltrans or whoever it is that's in charge of repairing these roads. These guys, actually, a part of me thought these guys are state workers. I'm sure some of them live in my neck of the woods. Are they not seeing this? Why can't they just go log in at work and say, create a ticket by themselves? Why do you have to wait for someone else to create a ticket for you? I don't know. Maybe they're overworked as it is, and they're not trying. But it's the roads that they're driving on too. I don't get it. So my question is, why? Why aren't you guys submitting tickets? Do you just not know about it? Do you not know that you can complain or submit a ticket to someone somewhere, and chances are it'll get resolved? Are you forgetful? Do you not care? Are you the type of person that needs the world to really be shaken up for you to think it's a problem and do something about it? Like, what is it that is causing me and people like me to be in the 1%? Why can't that percentile increase? Why won't it? Or why doesn't it? Hopefully after this video it'll at least jump to 2%. But anyway, thoughts.